Lovely. Welcome to episode 61 of the Parapod. You're here with your hosts, Mark and Owen, on this spooky Halloween night. It's a full moon outside, and it's really creepy out. It's nice and dark. All the little houses, with their little eyes, their yellow eyes, with the lights on inside.
Like Monster House staring out.
Yeah, like Monster House. They're like people. But we had a blackout there yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Did you get a blackout?
I didn't get a blackout, right? But I was cycling home from the gym, and I got through the first set of lights, and I was cycling all the way uphill from fucking Swords Road. And I was like, the traffic lights aren't working. And then I just like, oh shit, and I just kept going. And then when I got up to the cross at like Home Farm Road and like Griffith Avenue and all that. No, that's not Home Farm Road. But anyway, Swords Road and Griffith Avenue, whatever.
That road has like 10 names.
I don't know, yeah. When people say Home Farm Road, I'm like, vaguely, I have an idea
of
where
they're
they're
talking about. Swords Road, isn't it?
I think it is, isn't it?
It's all the same road.
Or is
and
that
the
stretch?
The Drumcondra Road is also the Swords Road.
Yeah, I don't know.
But depends where you're going.
Griffith Avenue and Swords Road / Drumcondra, that meeting of the minds there.
Yeah.
I was cycling up and I stopped and I was like, what do I do here? Because I was like, I'm on a bike and all these cars are stopping and letting each other go. So I waited until a van pulled up beside me and then they took off. I was like, go.
Using the van as cover.
Yeah, the van will block me.
Yeah, what do you even do in that scenario? It's gas that the traffic lights don't have like a secondary system.
Yeah.
Because isn't that like, that's pretty dangerous on like a main, that's the main road around here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a very important intersection.
Yeah.
Like,
you kind of need that to work, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Cars would just stop and then would stop and then like I think everyone's extremely cautious because even like the van when they were going they went a little bit and then they stopped and then they kept going.
Yeah, it just goes to show you don't really need traffic lights.
Yeah, just for pedestrians, I guess.
Everyone can just go,
Yeah.
So it'd be like, ever see those like CCTV footage from like Ethiopia and stuff and like India? Everyone was just going. There's like no rules. They're just going ham.
Yeah, it's like those. Yeah, you see that stuff from like Vietnam or like Thailand and stuff like that. Like just fucking, especially like Mumbai, place like that. Just this mad intersection, just cars weaving in and out of each other.
Yeah, there's like no laws. There's no like logic to any of it. But that's the thing, But I suppose up here you're closer to the hospital kind of thing. I think that's on like a secondary grid.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because my house wasn't gone. It was only Clontarf apparently. And Marino.
Yeah. Donny Carney was gone for like 4 hours or something like that. They were in bits. They were in dark till like well into the night. Yeah, we were gone for like 90 minutes. It was great. No electricity, just like candles.
Meditating for 90 minutes.
Yeah, just like this is the way it should be. It just made me think, like, what did they do back in the day? How did they light
candles? And then
but like
sit all around the fire.
Yeah, but like how, you can't light a room with a candle, can you? How do you do that?
Bright enough though. Have a few candles.
How do you read? It's bad for your eyes.
You just didn't.
You just didn't read.
You just don't read.
You only read during the day.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty true, yeah. That's probably true. But yeah, I was looking at things up. I was like hoping it was like a countrywide kind of thing. There's some kind of World War III scenario that happened, You're always kind of like low-key hoping, but not that's happening.
Is this it?
This is it. This is when it happens. Because there's like explosions going off in the distance.
Yeah.
The fireworks and stuff. It's like this is World War III's happened. I was already in the bunker,
I was already
the lights came back on
in my fucking neighbour's house with knives out.
Yeah.
Give me your food.
I was in the middle of ransacking my neighbour's house. The lights came back. But yeah, it was pretty exciting. But that's what you want on Halloween. And apparently it's going to get worse for the rest of the year. But that's a different thing. It's going to be less festive during Christmas. But right now we can enjoy like that kind of thing. Because it is Halloween, as we said.
Wait, why did the power go out?
I don't know.
Just did.
It just did. It's all them data centers they're building.
Yeah.
They're stealing all our power. Our electricity grid, so much of our power goes to like, making sure Facebook stays online. And then it just shits the bed as well. Like, what's the point of that? We're building more of them and stuff. I don't know.
What can you do?
It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it went, but like it wasn't explained. But what can you do? But
it never is it? It's like, oh, no power for now.
Yeah.
Talk to you in a bit.
You see, Lebanon was without power for weeks or something like that.
No, it didn't.
2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, they ran out of oil. Because remember when Beirut like blew up over 18 months ago now.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
That destroyed their economy. Their economy is still fucked.
Man, I always remember. Do you remember seeing that footage of someone that was like they're having wedding photos and they were having the camera
Yeah.
on those steady cam yokes. Jeez, those the fucking things work, because the explosion goes off, your man starts legging it, and the camera is like still and can capture it all. Those fucking things work. Jeez, imagine an explosion and the camera stayed still.
Yeah, like that was a huge explosion. That was
Yeah,
like
it
a
was.
nuke. I remember everyone thought that was a nuke when it first
I
happened.
completely forgot that happened.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah,
But we're gonna have
2020 was wild.
yeah, what happened that year? But like, we're gonna have so much great footage from World War III. Like, just imagine all the Steadicam footage, like
Oh, man.
combat footage, explosions. It's all gonna be in 4K. It's all gonna be immediately available.
Yeah, streams online.
yeah. But like, yeah, that destroyed their economy, and their economy's still fucked. And they're like, their currency's worth nothing. So they're like running low on food and stuff like that, and they can't get gas in because like half their country's controlled by like an Iranian backed militia kind of thing, Hezbollah, and they're like, oh, we'll get the Iranian oil in, but if they bring the Iranian oil in, then America will be like, no.
Yeah.
We're going to shut down your economy even worse. Like, you think this is bad? Wait till
You don't know what a bad economy looks like.
Wait till you see what happens when we get our hands on you. So they're basically stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they're like blacked out for a long time anyway. They recently got it back though. So.
Madness.
That's our future. No.
Yeah. The
That's
world
not true.
economy is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Makes no sense.
But yeah, Halloween though. Yeah, how was your week?
Week was pretty good. Get ready to go away for the first time in
Oh yeah.
2 years.
Where are you heading?
Gone up to Glasgow.
Oh, Glasgow.
Yeah.
Ever been?
Yeah, I've been there once or twice. My mum has like a friend over there that like kind of like an auntie to the family, so I'm just gonna stay with them
right.
for a few days. Looking forward to it though, because I'm looking forward to it. But Ryanair are fucking scumbags.
Boy.
I booked my flights, right? I was like 9, 10 o'clock, and I was like, that is grand. Leave the house at like 7 or like, you know, 6:30, 7. Be there for like 9, whatever the fucking time was. That'd be grand. Be sorted. Booked the flights 2 days later. They're like, oh, by the way, actually, there's an update to your flight. It's now at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's changed from
9 or 10 or 9:30, whatever my original flight was.
at night?
No, in the day, like in the morning.
All right.
Yeah, and then they switched it to 6 o'clock in the morning.
Can't you claim compensation off that?
Well, see, it was either you can claim compensation or you can fuck off and get a different flight.
You can spend 2 years in court, or you can just get the 6 a.m.
Yeah,
flight.
and because they kept emailing me about it, and I was like, why do they keep emailing me about it? Then I realized, oh, you fucking scum! I had to confirm it and be like, yeah, I'm okay with this, because if I didn't say I was okay with it, they just wouldn't give me my fucking tickets for a flight that they fucking changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to basically wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning now to be in the airport, you know, an hour and a half beforehand.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to that. I don't really see the point of sleeping that night, so
Yeah. Sure.
4 hour kip though, I'll be right.
Sure, you can sleep on the plane.
Yeah, but it's only an hour.
It'll be alright.
It'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, sounds good. What are the spots in Glasgow? You know, there's a lot of history there, isn't
I actually don't know anything about Scottish history, so I have no idea.
there? No, do I?
Yeah, no idea.
Something about Protestants and
Yes.
Catholics.
Yeah, something similar to us, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, they're pretty similar to us, aren't they?
Braveheart.
They're a good bunch. Good bunch.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
the good old Glaswegians.
The Glaswegians.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lads. Celtic.
Celtic and Rangers.
I love Celtic. Yeah.
And of course, Celtic.
Okay, yeah. The Celtics. What a legend.
Oh, a king. A Dublin icon.
Yeah, Dublin hero.
But yeah, it was grand. Well, on Friday, actually, we went to go see a new movie, didn't we?
That's true. We did get up to something on Friday. A little Paropod field trip to the old cinema theatre.
Mm-hmm.
The old multiplex.
First time that we've done it.
Yeah, the first time we've done it. Yeah, Yeah, so we've been to cinema before.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
since I think this is the first time the two of us have gone to the cinema
Yeah.
like
so,
in Ireland. Yeah.
yeah.
To be fair, there's nothing ever on, so
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we went to go see Halloween Kills, the latest entry into our perennial favorite franchise, Halloween. And we had a lot of thoughts on it. It's only out, a week now? We saw it on opening day.
Yeah, we did.
And there was a disappointing turnout, it has to be said.
Yeah, there really was, wasn't
There was
there?
a disappointing turnout. Plus, Cineworld, review on Cineworld.
It's alright, isn't it? It does the job.
It does the job. They're a bit amateur though. No. They're good people there. They're good people. Well, no, they're not. The employers aren't, but the staff are great. The staff are great. And yeah, it was like half full. The thing.
Yeah, half full of what their max capacity is at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 people, 30 people there maybe.
Yeah, it was grand. Yeah, it was at the back. It was nice, decent.
We had lovely seats.
We had great seats.
Yeah, we did.
We saw all the action.
Yeah, all the action.
You know, you'd hope. But yeah,
By God, there was a lot of it.
there was action from the word go to the last frame
Yeah.
of the film. Which, in a way, is that a good thing?
Not
See,
really.
that's one of our problems with the film.
Like, okay, right. Fuck it. Spoiler alert. Full spoilers for this film.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
to talk about the problems in this film, we have to go in depth.
Uh-huh.
Halloween Kills isn't great. It's not great.
It's actually a bit shit.
Yeah.
It's a huge letdown.
Yeah.
a huge step down from the 2018 remake or reboot. You know, it completely misses everything that made that film good.
Yeah.
You know, you can make a Halloween film and it'll be grand. You know, as long as you stick to the normal beats, have the right characters in it, it'll be all right. It'll be watchable, and the film is watchable. It's definitely watchable. You know,
It's extremely watchable.
you can watch it. It's very stimulating.
Mm-hmm.
A lot's going on constantly. There's always something going on, but like there's too much going on, and it doesn't flow, and there's like a real lack of tension or build up to
Yeah.
anything.
Because I think part of it is the fact that like we're aware. I feel like most people are aware that this is a trilogy that's coming out,
Yeah, this is the middle part. This is the second act.
and by God, does it feel like the middle part? Like nothing really. Like a lot happens, but nothing really happens.
Yeah, everything that does happen, you're like cringing. You're like, oh, they just shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
It's like this rider's just like worked himself into a corner, and like everything he does now is about like trying to work his way back, but then they don't really try to work themselves back.
Especially because like at most, like a character might die. Like, you know, one of them, an important character might die. But that's about all that this film can do, because nothing major can really happen. Like Laurie isn't gonna die in this film. Like,
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen.
Laurie's barely in this film. To be fair,
To be fair, yeah,
To be fair.
she's stuck in bed for most of it,
yeah, until she
Um,
inexplicably gets up for a while, but like yeah,
and then
she's barely
and
in
then
it.
back down.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you are just like the film is like just threading water until we can get to the last part of the franchise, which maybe will be good.
Who knows?
I feel like you don't have to carry on anything from this film. Like nothing in this film really matters in terms of the trilogy. Like, do you think any of that mob mentality, like the whole critique of
Yeah.
mob mentality, is gonna have any effect on the third film? Probably not,
Yeah, so why did they put it in?
because you need to do something for this film, I guess.
It was planned as a trilogy. What were they thinking? Like, I'd
Yeah.
love to know what they were thinking, what their original plan was. Because like it does make sense within the universe to have an examination of like a more like the mass psychology of Haddonfield, of a town that's living through, or that has lived through something traumatic and like has to deal with it, and like how they deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've seen that before in
I can't believe Halloween 4 did it better than this film.
yeah.
And it wasn't even a major part of Halloween 4.
Yeah, there was three. The mob was three guys, and they just got wiped out.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't even a B plot. It was like a C plot, just kind of, you know, there on the side. But this film like tries to go into it, but it doesn't try hard enough, because there's something else, because it's going somewhere else at the same time, and like it's trying to do something really weird with the mob story, because
Yeah.
it's just like it's kind of like, basically there's a hospital scene where there's basically a storm. They storm a hospital in search of Michael Myers, and every shot and like just the general way it plays out is like almost identical to like the Capitol Hill riots.
And like I'm sitting,
Very strange.
I'm sitting in the cinema, and like when they start like storming through the hospital, I'm like, is this about COVID?
Is this about Trump?
Well, geez, the film is
Yeah.
the film makes that. Like, I think that's another problem with the film, is that, you know, when Halloween is good, it's subtle about what its themes are. This is very, very blunt in what it's talking about and what it's like delving into, and like all that stuff in the hospital, them rushing around. And I said this to you afterwards. They have this chant which is like, "Evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight," which is just basically, "He will not divide us, he will not divide us."
Yeah.
Like it's basically Trump chants that are going on, which is weird because it's a blend. It's like critiquing, you know, right, fair enough that it's critiquing this, you know, mob mentality as a whole, and it does critique like "he will not divide us" crowd. but also at the same time, this crowd are also linked to like anti-vax type of stuff, I guess, and the Capitol Hill riots and stuff
Yeah,
like
they
that.
don't wear any masks in the hospital, you know.
Yeah,
You notice
fucking joke.
that? yeah. This is set in 2018 though. You mentioned that, yeah.
But like, so it is just like it is critiquing mob mentality both ways. But when you're critiquing mob mentality, like it's always the same critique. Like this film has the same critique of mob mentality that Halloween 4 does, where it's like mob mentality is not good. That's it.
Yeah, there's no original take. That's like every film has that same.
Yeah.
Like no film's like, oh, maybe there's something in it, you know, or maybe there's like why do people feel the need to do this, or like, you know, what's the I don't know, the spirit behind this kind of like communal sense of being wrong and like wanting to put it right. It's just like these people, they mean well, but they're just like idiots and they just don't do it well, and they end up becoming, you know, the thing they hated the most. It's literally a line, I'm pretty sure, in the film, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure the line is like, Michael Myers is the evil that divides us.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Michael Myers is Donald Trump.
Yeah. Michael Myers is cancel culture.
Yeah. Michael Myers needs to be cancelled. Oh, God. But like that, there's that whole hospital scene. It's one of the worst written scenes you'll find. And like, well, not in any film, but in a film that is at least following on from a good film, and that you'd expect a lot more from. The hospital scene is written like a really stupid episode of Grey's Anatomy. You know, like where like the plane flies into the hospital or something like that. It doesn't make any sense. It's all over the shop. And it really doesn't have anything much to do with the film.
No, especially like when you're first like, because they're following the wrong person. Like they think that they're chasing Michael Myers, but they're actually chasing some other guy that was on the bus when Michael Myers like took it over and like crashed it, whatever happened I can't remember actually how Michael Myers escaped in the 2018 one. But he's another one of the inmates. They're in this bus and he's escaped, and people have wrongly identified him as Michael Myers, so they're going after him. But as soon as they show a shot of your man running away and the mob are chasing after them, you know exactly where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Like the mob either the mob will kill him or he will kill himself. And that's the only way that it's so predictable what's going to happen. And then when it is executed, and it's like all this like Trump and COVID and like Riot Hill stuff, you're just like, oh, cringe.
Yeah, cringe. That is the word for it. Yeah, it would have been more horrifying if they'd killed him, or like the first option you said, where like it sort of like follows through on what it's trying to say, that Myers turns, or that the fear of Myers turns the people into, you know, that kind of evil.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like it's sort of like just cops out on its own point, where he jumps out the window.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's a bit gory.
Jesus,
but he's only 4 floors up. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
Splattered.
He was made of fucking glass. Like he just fell apart when he hit the ground. It was literally 4 floors up. No, but the hospital scene is just like the culmination of that entire, like, it's not even the subplot. It's like it's the start of the film.
Man, it's basically the A plot.
Yeah.
Michael Myers is the B plot going throughout this film nearly.
Yeah. But that's the problem, because you start out, because the film basically follows Tommy Doyle, which is a character that we've met a few times before,
and we will later on this
and
episode.
we will meet again. But he's the kid that Laurie was babysitting in Halloween 1, the original Halloween 1978. So he's a kid. He was a kid then. Now he's all grown up, and obviously he's scarred by that event as well. And he's like, it's Halloween night again, obviously, and they're at a bar, and the film just spends about 20 minutes introducing us to all these different characters. And like the problems are kind of like apparent straight away, because none of the characters are remotely interesting in like any way.
No,
they're all really boring, and like there's all the jokes like fall really flat. You know, it's like attempts at characterization, but it's all like very half-hearted. Like there's no real, they don't focus long enough.
Yeah.
Or like do anything that would like make you like feel like you know the person, or like care about them that much.
No.
And it's focusing on, was it 3 or 4?
They were focusing on we meet this guy called Lonnie, the nurse that was dragged out of the car by Michael Myers in the first film to then escape Haddonfield, the hospital, and then the girl that was also with Tommy, whose babysitter was killed in the first one. She's the other one that's there. So there's 4 adults that were like kids or like had minor incidences with Michael Myers in the first film. And they're all like together, like going through their trauma or whatever. And then one of them is the dad to the boyfriend in the 2018 film.
Mm-hmm.
And he rings him, he's like, here, Dad, something bad's have to happen. And he's like, oh, let's go get Michael Myers. And they all set off. But again, like, none of those characters were really developed. I feel like Tommy Doyle is the most developed. Him and the black couple that we meet in this film, who I thought were going to be much bigger part in the film.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be around to the end anyway.
Yeah.
Or like, I thought there'd be much bigger characters as well. Yeah, I thought there'd be more of a role there. But,
because I feel like I understood their relationship more than Tommy or the other 3.
Yeah, especially because 2 of the girls, or the two older women that Tommy and Lonnie are with, like they're from the original. They're supposed to be from the original film. I don't know if they might be the original actors as well, but like it's just like these were in the original film, and like that's it. Like,
Yeah,
there's no.
That's it.
We don't feel any sort of connection to them. We don't know who they are really.
Anything beyond that point.
They literally just show a clip from the original film, and like that's this person.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the entire development. So it's strange that they actually went to the trouble of developing the black couple, but never actually sort of saw it out to any kind of conclusion. It's full of things like that, just like picking up threads and like dropping them for no reason. And Tommy himself is just not likable, really. No. He's not likable at any point. Like, he doesn't even feel like he could lead a mob.
Yeah, you're just like what the fuck is listening to this asshole pulling up to people at a gas station like, I need good people with me. Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Imagine they'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Fuck off.
He introduces himself to the audience, like metaphorically and like, literally in the film, by getting up at an open mic on Halloween night and talking like a comedy open mic and talking about how
a talent show
and talking about how Michael Myers nearly killed him like 40 years ago or something like that. It's like, what are you doing? Like, everyone would just be like, this guy's fucking weird.
Yeah,
like, get him off.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's so bizarre. But like, it's the same plot again. Like, oh, Michael escapes. They don't know if it's him. It can't be Michael. Oh, it is. And then it's just like wild goose chase through Haddonfield. Yeah. But there's just none of the subtlety and none of the I don't know, like the understanding. Like the 2018 one had an understanding of what the original was about, and like what the 2018 one was trying to do in terms of like I don't know, like reinventing itself or like overcoming the conventions. Like even the way like Laurie's mission in the 2018 one is to sort of like transcend her role as the damsel in distress from the original 1978 film. Like that's a really like clear and solid kind of premise to the film, and it really works. And they know exactly what it is, and they play it off really, really well. And this one is just like, it's like a really limp continuation of that, but it doesn't know where it's going really.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's such a shame, because I do feel like it could have been something cool, but it just isn't.
Yeah, no, the mob thing is a cool idea. I think it's a very cool idea, but it just, they don't have they didn't seem to have any idea what to do with it.
Well, Mark, mobs are bad. Mob mentality is bad.
Mobs are bad.
Did you not know that? Have you not heard that before?
That's true. Public justice doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. You have to hand Michael over to the cops. The cops have always been the ones who know what to do with Michael Myers.
That was the fucking line as well, where her daughter's like, "There's a system in place for things like this," and then Laurie goes, "This system is broken."
yeah. It's like, it's on the nose. But like, also, you're Laurie Strode's daughter. It's like, what has happened in the last 12 hours that might make you doubt, the competence of the police department in Haddonfield?
And the fact that Michael Myers has gone on a massacre now from this point on.
This guy's killed like nearly 50 people in one night.
We counted it up. Like, he has now killed about 50 people.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And then the culmination is just, I don't know. The culmination might be the worst. I don't know. It's hard to say without spoiling it, but it's.
Man, we gave a spoiler alert.
We can spoil this.
Yeah, we can say it with the ending.
Oh God. Well, basically, there's a whole wild goose chase. Michael just wants to go back to his childhood home. And we were saying this after.
This old age pensioner.
Yeah, this old man just wants to go back to his childhood home. He wants to go back to the last point he was happy in his life. And they follow him there, and obviously there's a big, like, sort of standoff and stuff.
Just one thing as well. Like, characters are so fucking stupid in this film. Why did that fella Lonnie just go into the house by himself? Like, at this point, you know Michael Myers has massacred multiple people.
Yeah.
Like at the same time. Like he's killed multiple people in one go.
Yeah.
Why are you walking into Myers' house with a gun and no backup whatsoever? And he dies instantly.
Yeah, what a waste of life. Like why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Yeah. But yeah, there's a scene in the Myers house, and he's let outside, and the mob are waiting for him, and they want their justice, and basically they end up killing him. They kill Michael.
They kick the shit out of him.
They fuck him up. It's supposed to be really cathartic. Everyone has their go at him. They have like lead pipes and stuff like that, and like you get stabbed and stuff like that.
Pretty sure he gets shot as well.
Yeah, he gets shot multiple times. And
this is after getting a pitchfork to the spine and curb stomped as well.
Yeah. All happening within the last half an hour.
No, in the last like 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Even within the timeline of the films, all happened in the space of like 5-10 minutes. But yeah, they all get their go in, and then Laurie's daughter's invited over to get the killing blow, and like that's it. That's supposed to be it. But obviously that's not it. You know, this is the second part in the trilogy. Like that's not the end of the film, and
because I was wondering, I was like, what are they going for? Like,
yeah,
like how is he gonna like continue on into the next film?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make it. Like I always think when because he's led through the gardens of like around his gaff by Laurie's daughter,
because she stole his mask.
Because she's taking his mask. He wants his mask back for whatever reason, and he's chasing her around, and like he's led out, and suddenly all the headlights come on the cars, and they have him surrounded, and it's the mob, and it's just Michael like turning around and seeing that he's completely surrounded, and I was just thinking like, what are they doing? Like what? Like there's no way out of that situation in terms of writing.
Unless it's the end. Unless this is the final film.
Unless this is the last scene
in
the franchise. But obviously this is about halfway in.
Mm-hmm.
Like what were they thinking? And
they just kick the shit out of him. They stab him. They shoot him. And then like it's like, oh, Myers is dead. Everyone's like wrapping up. Everyone's leaving. And then Laurie's talking to the police officer that's in the bed beside her. And she's just like, you can't kill Michael. Michael is the evil that divides us. Michael is this. Michael is that. Michael isn't human. And sure enough, Michael just gets up.
He just gets up and kills everyone.
In a shitty montage.
Yeah, but there's 15, 20 people around him. He kills them all.
Every single one of them.
All of them. And they show it.
Yeah.
They show like it's not like they come back and like everyone's dead and he's just gone. They show him killing everyone.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Especially because because you're instantly, I was comparing it to what we just seen with them all kicking the shit out of Michael. And they're all wailing into him at the same time. Like when one person hits, another person's hitting him at the same time. But then when he's massacring them all, he's taking them all one at a time. I was like, why are you not all attacking him at the same time again?
This guy's clearly invincible. Like, you should all be going at or running away.
Yeah.
Why are they standing around? And this guy's clearly just gotten up from
leg it, like, just run.
Just run away.
Because like you've seen him getting shot 4 times in the chest, like beaten to a pulp with multiple weapons and stabbed in the neck, and he gets up. And I'd be like, if you saw that in real life, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this fella clearly isn't human. And that's another thing that I hate. There's no mystique over, is Michael real or real human, or is he something supernatural? No, Michael Myers is explicitly now back to being supernatural.
Yeah, it's like it's said in the film. Yeah, it's literally said before the final montage, like Michael isn't human, he can't be killed. But it's not even like in like a mysterious, he's just like, it's so hard to kill him. Like he isn't human, he can't be killed, which is just like, I don't know what they're going for there, or where they're going to go with the sequel to this film, because that just doesn't make any sense. Because it's supposed to be a realistic like franchise. And supposed to be, 2018 one is a realistic film.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part,
I don't really think Michael Myers gets the shit kicked out of him really, except for the end. But at that point,
in the original,
like in 2018, like
in 2018,
when he's fighting off Laurie, like he's fighting her, like he's getting the shit kicked out of him, but like, he is taking damage.
Yeah.
And like it's not like he's getting stabbed in the neck. He gets his fingers cut off or something.
Yeah. And he recoils. How is he like recoiling if he's invincible? Like, and like plus like remember the scene, the 2018 film, great scene in the it's in the first 20 minutes or something, the first 25 minutes. It sets him up as like he's back. Like this is the first
So
glimpse,
good.
the first glimpse you get of Michael, the new Michael Myers, in the pit stop toilets, where he's after stealing the boiler suit, and the podcaster girl, she's sitting in the jacks, and this guy comes in, and you feel it, like the sound design or something. Yeah. You feel the boots on the tiles in the bathroom, and he comes in, and you just hear him like leaning against the door, and his hand comes over, and he drops teeth into the cubicle. Like that is like you felt every movement in that scene.
No, because what he's gonna do, and then he drops teeth, and like that is 10 times worse. So whatever the fuck
Yeah.
I was thinking he was gonna do.
Yeah, and then he's slamming on the door, and you feel it every time he slams the door. And then there's a fight scene, or it's not even a fight scene. He just kills them afterwards, but like there's real weight to all the violence.
Yeah.
And you really feel it's like this guy is not to be messed with. But it's not like he's like a fucking arch demon or something like that.
Yeah,
he's just a serious customer.
Yeah, he's a serious customer. No, I 100% agree. And even like this film is way more gory than the last film.
Yeah.
But-
A lot of the gore is good, but it's just so overused.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, like even like the best kill in this thing probably would be when he's like he grabs this guy's head and he like gouges his eyes out and he like caves his head in. You're like, fuck, that's really gory. But like that is like wince-inducing because it's a really gross image, whatever. But like it's pretty simplistic as opposed to him, coming in to the girl and like dropping the teeth down and then beating her mate up. Like when he's beating up her mate, he's just like thrashing him around the place, and you're just like he's just manhandling someone, which is, I don't know, I feel like that's way more scary than just. In a weird way, that is way more scary than some dude grabbing you and just gouging your eyes out.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Which is like obviously fucking disgusting, but like the effects that the film has, or the effect that the violence has, anyway, it's just like, I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, there's no rhythm to it. There's
Yeah.
no rhythm at all. It's like that scene where he's that's in his old family. The
Yeah,
one in his old.
jeez, those
his
two
old
gay
gaff.
guys got fucked up.
Yeah, but there's so many characters in this film as well. It's like it's
And
just too much going on.
And they don't matter because you just
Yeah.
know that they're gonna die.
Yeah, but in that scene where he gouges your man's eyes, like that's fucked up, and it's like it's an intense kill. But it's almost made worse because straight away after that he just kills someone else
Mm-hmm.
in like a different way.
It
And like
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like there's so much. There's no rhythm to it. In 2018 one, there's lots of kills, but like it seems like it's a lot. I haven't seen it in a while, but it seems like they're a lot more spaced out. It's more like bursts of violence. Like some of it happens off screen. Like you just see sort of the results of it. And this one, it's all happening on screen. And it's all very in your face. And taking that example, like it sometimes it literally just happens seconds. Like there's a big cathartic sort of huge moment of horror, and then there's another supposedly horrifying moment seconds later, which isn't how like that stuff kind of works.
Well, I mean, the film starts with a massacre and like 8 firemen.
That is an amazing scene. To be fair.
It is class. That bit is
great.
class.
That's an amazing. Like I'm pretty sure. Like I'm sure when they're setting out the scripts for this before they were even filming the first one, I say they had the idea. I know what the opening of the second one's going to be.
I love that bit, but it's the same. But it is the same thing again, where he just massacres so many people, and then for some reason he just fucks off to an old people's home and just fucks them up as well. But like, so some of that when he actually went off and he fucked up those old people, I actually did enjoy that. Because I was like, that is like the idea of Michael Myers, this like traumatic thing that just comes in and just ruins your life,
out of nowhere, no reason at all.
Out of nowhere, and you have that bit where like the old woman is sitting there like fuck it. I think she's like bleeding out, and she's just watching Michael just put more and more knives into her husband.
That is brutal.
And she just has to sit there and watch it because she can't do anything. Like that is so fucked up. And then. But again, like they're like these little one moments that never really last because you're on to the next thing where he's just massacring this other person. Then
he's massacring half the town, in one go.
Like like as we said, he's killed 50 people this night, or like because this is the same night as the first film, so combining the two, he's killed 50 people this one night. Yeah,
it's insane that like how much one man can do, like
get up to.
Yeah, it's crazy because if I don't know, it's like nothing to do with the film, but it's just funny how like. you're watching the film and he's coming into the old people's home. It's like, oh, this is the start of the film. But for Michael Myers, this is like 6 hours into his rampage. Like he's just in the middle of it. Like
he's loosened up.
He's not starting again. He's like, jeez, and 2 more. You know,
he's in the groove now.
yeah. He's already killed like 25 people. Yeah, but the start is good. The start is interesting.
I was mad confused though for a bit.
Very confusing. Yeah, the start is good, but also it's like it's only there because it's like a really ham-fisted kind of way to to explain
like how he got captured in like the start of the 2018 film.
Yeah, and it's basically just the origin story for a character that you don't really need as well for the rest of the film. For Hawkins, I think it is the sheriff.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah, the sheriff in Haddonfield, who was in the original, who was in the 2018 one, where he gets stabbed by a doctor, and you think he's dead, but he's actually not. And his whole origin story is that he was there on the original night in 1978 when Michael, just after Michael had disappeared, just after the end of Halloween 1, like the original Halloween, after Michael disappeared, and he went back to the Myers house, and this guy Hawkins was the cop who followed them in, and the guy who plays young Hawkins is like this really recognizable actor.
Yeah,
well, I assumed was like it was confusing that way because you feel like he's going to be more used.
Which is, because I was like, the way that the film starts off is like, here's the boyfriend character walking through a field and then finding old Hawkins at the end of 2018, all fucked up and bloody, and then it flashes back, but it doesn't tell you that it's flashed back yet. For a reason, which we'll get onto in a couple of minutes, for a reason. But because the actor is so recognizable and is in so much, I don't know what his name is. He's the guy in Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. He's me in that film. You're just like, oh wait, when does this take place? Because in the end of the last film, the house is on fire. When is this? And kind of stupidly didn't really take into the fact that that Michael Myers mask was clean. Like it's not like the 2018 one. It is clean.
Yeah.
So
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that, but thinking back and I'm like, oh yeah, it was a clean mask as opposed to the one in 2018. So, and then he goes back into the house, and still you're mad. You're just confused as to when it's going on, and then this whole scruffle goes on where like Hawkins accidentally shoots his partner that Myers is holding. Then Myers goes downstairs and leaves, but then Loomis comes in through the door.
Yeah, man. To be fair, that is an amazing. Because obviously Donald Pleasance is dead. Yeah, but he's in this film.
He's been dead like 20 years, even longer, 25 years.
Yeah, he was dead after Halloween 6.
Yeah,
Halloween 6 dedicated to his memory.
Yeah,
but he's in this film as like a what you call it, like the Paul Walker job, like his
mostly like CGI kind of version.
Yeah, CGI, but the voice. I don't know if that's taken from the films.
I have no idea how they did the voice.
But his voice is spot on,
and he looks and like it doesn't look weird. Like it looks like Donald Pleasance is in the film. It's mad.
It's really well done.
And that's the moment where I realized when it actually was, because I hadn't copped into that moment.
Loomis is back.
And Loomis comes back. I was like, oh my god, this is 1978 now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just dumb. I'm just dumb and I didn't realize it.
No.
But when he shows up, I was like, Loomis, my boy, I missed you.
My boy, Loomis. Man, that's what we're going to do with the third one. Loomis is going to come back.
Yeah, properly.
yeah. He's also immortal. But yeah, that was really well done. But again, it's a cool scene, but it also you don't need it in the film.
No,
there's no reason to have it. It's only there to justify having Hawkins in for the rest of the film.
But he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. He's obviously been stabbed in the neck, so he sits in the hospital bed beside Laurie for some reason. For some reason, they're forcing him to share a room in this hospital, and he just talks. He basically they come back to him every half an hour or so we can explain the themes of the film.
Yeah,
and like really badly, and he just repeats the same thing again and again.
It's bad.
But I assume he must do something in the third one. He must be a main character in the third film, because there's no other reason to have that much time dedicated to him.
But see, the thing is like, I'm assuming that the third film is going to be a continuation of the same night again. Like this trilogy is going to take place all over the same night.
Yeah. Well, no, I think there's a year time skip.
Oh, really?
I was reading that there's a year time skip.
Okay, I was wondering how the fuck Laurie and Hawkins are going to get up out of that bed.
It would be a bit of a stretch. It would have been cool to have like it end at dawn or something like that.
Yeah.
Like before sunrise trilogy, but like with Halloween or something.
Yeah, Michael Myers just turns to dust and the sun comes up.
Yeah. He was actually a vampire all along. And it's like a CGI Loomis who says it.
Oh, that would be a good ending.
That would be good.
That would have been a better ending to this fucking film.
Yeah, that's one of the only possible endings they can have, you know? They've really written themselves into a corner, which is just insane.
I'm telling you, he's gonna have to be decapitated or like blown up. Or if
like,
Laurie just grabs a grenade and hops onto him and just blows the two of them up.
Yeah, jihad against Michael Myers. Yeah, what do you think they'll do with the third one? Where can they go from here? What would you do with the third one? Based on the material we have right now.
I just do 2018 again.
just remake the reboot.
Just remake the reboot.
And or just put out the same film.
Yeah,
it's the same. Oh, it's a new one.
Just change the ending.
Yeah. Oh, he's actually dead now.
He's actually dead this time.
It's just like have like a title card at the end. Like Michael Myers returned to his home planet shortly after the end of this film. You know?
Yeah, what a letdown though.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Disappointing.
It's a shame. Maybe it's part of a great comeback. It's the setup to an amazing comeback that you might see next year.
Surely the third film has to be better than this. If it's not, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah, well, if it's somehow worse than this, that would actually be surprising.
Yeah,
it would be really surprising. But yeah, just thinking about it, I'm pretty sure Hawkins is gonna be like the main. It must be Hawkins and Laurie.
No, and the granddaughter. Surely the granddaughter's the one that's gonna have to kill Michael Myers.
Yeah, for the symbolism.
Yeah, especially because like her mom's now dead as well. Her both parents got killed by Michael Myers.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, he got her as well.
That
was so tacked on. I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh my god, he killed one of the main characters. I just pure forgot. Oh. Yeah. My god.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, Immortal Michael. Super Boomer Laurie.
Super Boomer.
She's a superhero boomer. That's what the third one's gonna be. That'll be the subtitle. Halloween, Immortal Michael, this summer.
Super Boomer.
That's
Laurie. So funny. Michael Myers is a super boomer. He's just a pensioner. Just wants to go home.
He's just an old man who wants to go back to his gaff. And clearly,
what if COVID kills him in the third one?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. He just succumbs to like lung issues. He's there in his bed, and they're like, "What have we done to this man?
We should have worn our masks, just like Michael did the entire time."
Oh man, that would be hilarious.
That's why he wants the mask so bad. He's like, "Here, give us that."
Yeah. He's like, "I need my mask on the shop.
I'm vulnerable. Give us it."
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, that's actually class.
Oh Jesus,
we should have had that at the start.
Yeah, we should have.
That's class. Yeah, Michael versus the anti-maskers. He's actually the good guy in all these films.
Oh Jesus!
And now he's gotten coronavirus because fucking Laurie's daughter took his mask off for a few seconds.
Fucking bitch.
Because he's compromised. Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh my God, so sad. Such a sad story.
Poor Michael. Oh God.
Man.
What was your favorite kill in this one?
Favorite kill? I think the firefighter scene.
Yeah.
Was great.
Just all of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
The car door was fucking hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, Jesus. So, yeah, some of a lot of the kills are really cool, but some of them are just like, what is that? Like, what's going on here? What is going on?
Jesus.
That just didn't make any sense. That just didn't make any sense at all.
It's just so many stupid characters. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Just completely incompetent people trying to take on Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
My God.
Yeah, I'm worried about the third one.
The third one?
Yeah.
There are a lot of callbacks to the original third one in this one.
Jesus, where wasn't there?
Yeah.
There's a lot of callbacks to like this one, to the original film and the third film, not the other ones.
Yeah, because they're all shy, yeah. I suppose technically the third one could still be in the same universe, you know?
Yeah, maybe they did sort out the fucking mask situation in the...
Yeah, I rewatched the third one there last night, or the other night.
How'd it hold up?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great one, you know? It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun, you know? It's just better than... It's the second best... It's the third best Halloween film.
Yeah.
I also rewatched the original as well.
I'm saving that for Halloween.
It just makes you appreciate the pace. He kills 3 or 4 people.
I think we counted 4 people.
Yeah, I think it's 4 people in the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much, you know, it's obviously one of the most iconic films of all time. But he only kills 4 people. He kills 10 times as many in between these two films.
He kills 10 times as many people in the opening of this film than he does the first film.
Yeah.
Because man, nothing has ever been as scary in any of the Halloween films as when like Laurie and her two mates are walking down the road and they look up and Michael Myers is standing there and then he just steps into the bush.
Yeah, in broad daylight.
Nothing has ever been so scary.
Yeah, it's not even explained, you know. But that's why it's so creepy.
Mm.
You know, they kind of missed that. They kind of lost that.
Oh, jeez.
The subtlety, the art of subtlety.
Yeah, it's not it's an underappreciated aspect of films, surprisingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got the sixth film, Halloween. Fucking whiz back to 1994,
6, 5. It's
95.
95. We'll
This-
go with.
Yeah, because this film came out the year before Scream.
Oh right, yeah. So yeah, 95. This is the last Donald Pleasance
Yes.
Halloween film. This was his last appearance as Dr. Loomis. It's also like regarded as it's critically regarded as the worst Halloween film. I'm
Well-
pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, the theatrical cut is yeah.
Yeah, because it's the same as as Halloween 5. There are two different cuts to this film. There's a theatrical cut and there's a producer's cut. So the original cut was like sort of is the cut that they wanted to make, is like based off the original script. It's a similar deal to Halloween 5 where they had this idea, a very clear idea of what they're trying to do. Like however stupid it may have been,
Mm-hmm.
like however nonsensical or like however bad an idea it was, they had an idea and they made that film, and then they were like, this is just a terrible idea.
So let's make it worse.
So let's just remove random bits and but leave other random bits that don't make any sense in this new one. And they basically butchered it into like a theatrical cut, which is what people saw, which is like the most commonly seen version of the film.
Which is, and I'm not being like hyperbolic when I say this, one of the worst films I have ever seen.
Really?
Oh man,
Is it that much of a gap? Because I haven't seen the theatrical. I saw the producer's cut, which is cool. Yeah, we have a little.
Yeah, we have a little.
We know
contrast
both
now.
sides,
Mhm.
but you know both of us also don't know the other side. I don't, because the one I watched, the producer's cut, is a very, very solid film.
Okay.
In terms of Halloween sequels.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, it did make it
There
made
you
sense.
go.
in
There's
its
the
own way.
difference. There's the difference right there.
Yeah.
Like,
It made sense in its own way.
The theatrical cut makes no sense at all. Like, I have literally no idea what happened in this film. I don't understand any of the logic behind what happened in the final third of this film. It is poorly edited to shit. It is some of the worst editing I've ever fucking seen. There's a bit where Michael Myers walks into a hospital emergency room where they're about to operate on a baby, I think, or something like that. I can't remember what they're doing. I think they're about to operate on a baby, and he's coming in because he wants to get the baby. But these people that are like operating on the baby are on his side, and he just massacres them all in like flashing black and white like knives. Like you just see knives, and then people are just flying around the place. Have no idea what happened in that scene. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
And then Paul Rudd and some other one just comes in and grabs the baby and flees. Because Paul Rudd also plays Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle is back as Paul Rudd, which is a very, very different take on the character from the recent one.
Yes.
Very, very different. He's
Not
kind of
a better take on the character, I'm going to say.
yeah, kind of yeah. Which is kind of it just reflects really badly on the recent one rather
Yeah.
than being like Paul Rudd did a really good. This is his first film, I think.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It says introducing Paul Rudd to start.
I think this film came out the same year as Clueless.
Did it?
I think so.
Yeah, Paul Rudd. Yeah, he's like this kind of savant who lives up in an attic, and he's still scarred from obviously being the kid that was with Laurie when Michael Myers did his whole rampage.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like locked himself up in like an attic in across the road. Like he's kind of like an incel.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Yeah,
like
he is. Yeah, he is.
He just has a computer. He's an incel.
Yeah. I mean, look at him as well.
yeah. He's clearly a weirdo. And he lives across the road from the Strodes, who are
Yes.
for some reason living in Michael Myers' house.
For some reason,
For some reason, it's very, very bizarre.
like, so the Strodes, because this is continuing on again with from the second film, where Laurie is actually Michael Myers' sister and was adopted by the Strode family. So these are like cousins, or like
Yeah, they're cousins.
they're
yeah.
cousins of the family that would have adopted Laurie.
Mm.
For some reason, have never heard of Michael Myers or where he lives or anything. They've never, like in the version I watched,
Yeah.
have never heard of it. Like there's a bit where like the mom rings the dad and she's like, "You heard about what happened in this house. Why would you let us move into this house?" And I'm sitting there like, how the fuck do you not already know that?
Yeah.
How do you not? Have you not heard about this kid that killed his sister, and then 10 years or like 18 years later, whatever the fucking 18 years, whatever it is,
Mm.
went on a rampage and murdered like 4 or 5 people. How have you not heard about this?
Yeah, and he lived in your gaff.
And you're living in his gaff, like.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's like moving to Ted Bundy's gaff and never knowing that was Ted Bundy's gaff.
Yeah, and your name was like John Bundy.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Oh,
But it's never really gotten into. But yeah, there's this whole weird family dynamic there as well. There's like an abusive relationship going on.
Jeez, that dad's a piece of shit.
Yeah, the dad's like a real villain. He's a really bad guy. He's obviously going to get brutally murdered.
He's a class kill.
He's earmarked. Yeah, he's earmarked for a very, very good kill later in the film. And there's quite a few. There's like loads of in the cut I saw. There's loads of different women characters that all look the exact same to me.
Yeah, there's two. I think there's 2 sisters or something in the like in the theatrical cut. I think they are sisters. Literally couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah, because the scene at the end, I was like, "There's a sacrifice going on." I was like, "Who's getting sacrificed again?" I didn't know. I didn't know because I wasn't sure who was who. Because this also still follows on from the last 2 films.
4 and 5, yeah.
Yeah, with Jamie Lloyd Strode.
Yeah.
Laurie's
daughter.
Yeah, Laurie's daughter. She's still around this film, but there's a very big difference. The main difference, I think, initially in the 2 films is Jamie Lloyd is murdered straight away.
Yeah,
in
basically.
the theatrical cut.
Yep.
She's a grown adult. And she gives birth. She has a child.
She has a child, yeah.
She has a child with her, and she's murdered in a barn.
Did you in the version that you watched? Did you see her giving birth?
I can't remember.
In the version I watched, I remember because it looked like fucking shit.
Yeah.
That was the moment that I knew the film was going to be very bad.
Yeah.
With some editing straight away, man. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like remember I was talking about like Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows, or Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. It's the editing in that. Like it just looked like shit.
What do you mean?
It's just like really quick cuts with like flashes of like skulls and shit like that, like blue lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really incoherent editing that like doesn't add a tone or a vibe to the film. Just looks like shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like Marilyn Manson music video editing.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just the perfect
Yeah.
kind of.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there was a few gothic montages in the one I watched as well, but I think they were like spaced out through the film. The film is very strangely kind of like put together, but I think it must be a lot worse in the theatrical cut because it's kind of butchered. I think there's an extra 20 minutes or something in the producer's cut, so it's like there's more room for the scenery to breathe, you know.
Yeah.
For all the scenes to sort of like play themselves out. But yeah, in the producer's cut, she's attacked. But she's just stabbed. She doesn't die.
Oh geez, she gets fucked up
Yeah.
in the theatrical cut to a point where like I was like I've been with this character for 2 films and I like Jamie a lot because of how fucking good that little actor is. But now to see her very abruptly and very unceremoniously killed off in a really gruesome fashion, I was like, you just did the character dirty. Like the character just got knocked off. And
she's a bit part as well in the one I watched. Because like she does survive that scene, and she lives on for into the second act, but then she's just executed like pretty much randomly.
Yeah.
Like she's in hospital, and the film is about like a cult. There's like there's a cult scenario.
Yeah, Thorn, the
cult of Thorn. And she's basically the leader of the cult walks in and executes her. The man in black, who's alluded to in the Halloween 5, but never explained in like one of the most baffling sort of editing choices of all time. He reappears and he shows up and he executes Jamie Lloyd in her hospital bed.
Man, I'm only thinking now, right? So in the end of the 5th film, you have this character that was like edited out for his explanation, and then when you get to the 6th film, they're like, here, how about we just do that again?
Yeah. He doesn't need to be explained. He's the man in black, you know? He's spooky, you know?
Oh, jeez.
But, but the whole thing... Anyway, in my film, it was that Michael was... Oh, no. It's like a Pizzagate kind of thing. The Cult of Thorn is like Pizzagate.
Yeah.
And the man in black is Jeffrey Epstein, where he's like gathered these children together and they've like laid a curse on them to where every Halloween the children, or every Samhain, it's called Samhain, or Sam Hain as Paul Rudd says in the film, It's Sam Hain.
Yeah. Good pronunciation there,
Yeah.
Rod.
Every sound, the children will sacrifice one of their family members until their bloodline dies out. And Michael is the purest distillation of this kind of like a, I don't know, zombie that they've gotten so far. And the sanatorium where Michael was first kind of like institutionalized after killing his sister was actually a laboratory where this cult, the cult of Thorn, was building the perfect zombie to carry out their rituals. And the child, Jamie's child, is like an even more perfect version of that, you know. But he's going to be the sacrificial lamb for the Strode daughter, Cara, I think her name is.
Yeah.
She has a son from
It's so convoluted, man. It makes no sense.
It's so unnecessarily convoluted. But she has a son, and he's going to be the new Michael Myers. And to do that, they're going to sacrifice Jamie and Michael's child, which Paul Rudd names Stephen.
Oh God,
for some
child
reason.
Incest, I just didn't fucking need to. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't need that to happen to Jamie. I didn't want that image in my head that Jamie was going to be eventually raped by Michael Myers. I just didn't need to have that in my film.
It's so unnecessary. But yeah, it's revealed that Jamie's child is actually Michael's.
Especially because Michael has the mind of a child. Like, that's the entire fucking point of that character.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of bad things going on. But yeah, it's also like so unnecessarily convoluted. It's very hard to get your head around or even understand what's happening when you're watching it. But yeah, and they're trying to sacrifice this kid, Stephen. For some reason, Paul Rudd calls him Stephen.
It's like the name.
He can just be unnamed.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to call you Stephen.
Yeah, little Stephen.
Yeah, Steve. They're going to sacrifice Steve so that Danny, the child of Cara Strode, who is the cousin of Laurie Strode and the cousin of Jamie Lloyd, so that her son Danny can become the new Michael Myers.
Yes.
But it all goes awry, very awry at the end of the film. I think this is where the films completely differ as well, because in your one, isn't it that Michael takes them all out?
Yep, for no reason at all. Michael's just like, I'm just gonna massacre everyone, including the cult members.
Is it not when he's like, or when she's like, oh, it's your child or whatever? Is that happening in your film?
No. Because
Yeah.
Michael already knows that as well. Michael knows that it's his kid.
Oh yeah, that's a different scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
he just massacres them for no reason.
For literally no reason, he just walks in and just decides, I'm gonna fucking ruin everyone's day.
Yeah. In the one I watched, he's there and he's like ready to do whatever he's supposed to do. And then Paul Rudd walks in, and he has the man in black. He holds him hostage. Turns out the man in black is the head of the sanatorium where Michael was institutionalized originally.
See, the man in black dies in that montage, or that fucking poorly edited scene of Michael Myers walking into that emergency room or operation room, just killing all the doctors and stuff. The man in black is one of them. I assume he died because he doesn't come into the film after that. So
it's like the main villain set up over 2 films. He just dies in a montage.
He just dies in an incoherent barrage of death.
Yeah. That says it all about these films. Yeah, in the producer's cut, he survives Paul Rudd basically he holds the man in black hostage, and they all kind of escape. He gets all the good people out. Michael Myers obviously chases after them, but Paul Rudd subdues him with the curse of Thorn, which is something like he casts a ruin, like an ancient Celtic.
Paul Rudd's been reading up on this cult somehow.
Yeah, somehow he knows like exactly what to do, and they get out. They all escape, and Loomis goes back in to sort of finish the business. You know, it's his final scene in the franchise. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that Loomis is in this film because he doesn't do much.
He doesn't do much at all. Yeah, he just kind of provides commentary after things happen.
Yeah, he just like in my version, he just pops in every so often.
Yeah. He's like retired and stuff.
Yeah.
And when Jamie gets executed, she gets executed in her bed, and he walks in. That's like a crime scene, like someone's been executed in a hospital, and Loomis just walks up and like holds her face. It's like, Jamie, what did I let him do to you? You know. But that's, and then it's just we're going on to the rest of the film.
Moving on.
Yeah, and moving on from Loomis's latest antics.
Well, that's all, folks.
What next will he get up to? But yeah, he goes back in to finish the business, and he finds Michael on the floor, like incapacitated, because obviously the rune of Thorn is you know.
He has a tattoo and all in this film as well. Was that in the 5th one? Michael has a little thorn tattoo.
Yeah,
like
I think
this little symbol on his arm.
I think he does. Yeah, But he finds Michael on the ground. But it's what he thinks is Michael. It's actually not Michael. He pulls off his mask to like look him in the eyes, as he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls off the mask, and it's actually the man in black, Dr. Wynne, the head of the sanatorium. And he's as surprised as Loomis is. He's like, what the fuck? He got away. And Loomis, like, he's holding up his wrist, like, looking for the tattoo. And suddenly his wrist starts burning, and he has the tattoo of Thorn now as well, the mark of Thorn. So he's now head of the cult, and he's like, ah! And then the film fades to black.
Yeah, it's two very different endings.
But like that's it's not that bad.
Yeah, see, in my one,
it's incoherent, but it's
they get the baby, they leg it, they get to another room, and Paul Rudd as Tommy fucking gets all these vials, these needles with like green lick goo in them, and he just stabs Michael with them, and like injects him with it. I don't really know what it does to Michael, but he just keeps like powering through. Basically, he's a little bit stumbling. He's like, a little bit like ooh, but he's fine. And then he's trying to get the baby, and he starts like reaching for the baby, which the kid's holding, and then his mom fucking helps, and then Paul Rudd helps as well. And Paul Rudd just goes to fucking town then with a 2x4 on Michael Myers, and again like poorly edited shots, like it's like cuts of like him whacking him over the head, and then Michael's face like kind of like turning in writhing in pain with green goo all over his face. I don't know what the fuck is going on there. And then Michael just collapses, and then they all leave, and then Loomis is there, and he like in this very clear shot that was added in afterwards, Loomis just shoots for no reason, just shoots the lock off a door that was already open, I'm pretty sure. And then they all escape, and then he's just like, oh no, I need to go back in there, I've unfinished business to do. Then he walks in, and then just cuts to Michael Myers' mask on the ground, and then just Loomis just screaming in the distance, and film's over.
That's alright. But it's just
it just doesn't make any sense. It just literally just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like all of it, I mean, like all that cult, that sacrifice stuff that you were talking about, everything about the cult isn't really explained in the film I watched.
Yeah, that's the problem, because it's like it's not good, but it's explained. It like at least makes sense.
It's literally the plot, and it's not explained in the version I watched.
Yeah, it's the whole point of the film. It's not explained. That's not good. That's not a good base from which to build. But like compared to the fifth one anyway, this is like, for me, the producer's cut is comparable to Halloween 4. Very much so, It's like
that's
solid.
wild.
It's solid, It's like
it's literally a downward fucking drop for me, like
from like all of them.
From like
just like
4 or 5
slope down.
Well, 4 and 5 is a major drop, and then like 4 and 5 is like jumping down the stairs, and then 5 is just taking the last step off,
just falling off. No. Yeah. Well, it's a shame what happened.
Yeah.
What happens when the studio gets involved? Kills the genius.
Well, the most depressing thing that like compared to, because I watched Halloween 6 on Friday before we went to go see Halloween Kills.
Same, yeah.
And I was like, Halloween 6 is like one of the worst films I've seen. And then after we came out of Halloween Kills, you're like, Halloween Kills is the worst Halloween film I've seen today.
yeah, it was. Like, I was like, is it even the best film?
Yeah.
Is it even the best Halloween film I'd seen that day? I think it was.
Which is mad.
But like that's because Halloween 6 isn't that bad. It's like,
yeah,
like Halloween 6 is a 5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Producer's cut. But Halloween Kills, as we said, also is a 5 out of 10
but
for me.
It's more disappointing.
Yeah, it hurts more.
Yeah.
Because I knew Halloween 6 is going to be bad. I expected Halloween Kills. Well, a month ago anyway, I expected Halloween Kills to be good.
Yeah.
Like good. But it wasn't. So it hurts.
It hurts way more.
Yeah, it stings.
Especially because Halloween 6 is following on from Halloween 5, which you've both admit is dog shit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's just not a good film.
Whereas opposed to like 2018, it's a great film. Yeah.
So was it H20 next thing?
Yeah, H20 and then Resurrection.
Resurrection.
That's the last 2 Halloween films we have.
That's with Tyra Banks and like all them.
Yeah.
We have to watch both of them now.
Halloween H20, I'm pretty sure does some serious retconning again.
I suppose it has to, yeah.
I'm pretty sure now 3, 4, 5, and 6 don't matter again. We're back to 1 and 2.
Back to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
As it always was.
There's some major retconning between Resurrection and H20. Because at the end of Michael Myers gets decapitated at the end of H20, and they retcon that in the next one. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Go
I'm
for
loving
break.
them.
Go for break, yeah.
Ah, yeah. And now for our recommended film of the 2 weeks. I'm not wearing my headphones, so I can't hear what's going on. Wait, let me do that again. And now for our recommended film of the 2 weeks. Wes Craven's 1996 iconic horror slasher, Scream. A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as part of a deadly game. That's Scream.
That's Scream.
That is Scream.
Everyone knows it.
Everyone knows Scream.
Do you like scary movies?
Yes.
Yes, I actually do. Thank you.
I actually do.
Thank you, Mr. Ghostface.
This is my film, man. This is my film. Yeah, it's a very meta film. It is a postmodern film, a postmodern horror film, which draws on everything that came before it, both in the sense that like it like directly calls them out. Like it mentions pretty much every major horror film you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like think of any horror film right now, it's mentioned in Scream.
Yeah.
Like every
Halloween.
yeah, Hellraiser, like Freddy, Jason, all that stuff. It's all referenced, and it plays on the tropes. It's all about the tropes and the subversion of tropes, and what that means.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like the different molds that these characters are forced into, and how they respond, and how like they develop themselves out of those molds, or remain trapped within them, and that sort of decides their fate within the story of Scream. Very iconic film, but like it's not. I don't know. I didn't have a huge impression that it was anything much different from what had come before until like recently. I don't know if that's my fault.
Yeah, when I first I watched this film. I think I watched Scream when I was like 12 or 13. And at that time, I hadn't seen Halloween. I hadn't seen Nightmare on Elm Street, which I still haven't seen, actually. I wasn't really into horror films. So when I watched Scream, I had no idea what I was taking the piss out of.
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was subverting. I didn't know the cliches that it was drawing on. I didn't understand the film really at all. Still enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, it's a fun horror film. But now I kind of appreciate it a bit more. Understand, what the film, especially the impact that the film had, which is something that you can really notice between Halloween 6 and Halloween 8 2018. Like you have the film that's before Scream, which is the 6th Halloween film. Like that's what Scream is, taking the piss out of these massive genre, these massive franchises that have been going on with multiple installments all over and over and over again. Like at this stage, I think by this stage there was like at least 10 Friday the 13th films.
Yeah, there were quite a lot.
Yeah.
It was just getting overkill. But every story, like the story would change, but the structure of the story and the conventions of the characters and how the characters behaved was always very, very narrow, very, very similar from film to film. And that's what Scream takes the piss out of. It's all about, playing up to those roles and then, like, subverting your expectations and then, like, subverting the subversion and, like, actually surprising you in, like, a novel kind of way, which obviously isn't possible at that point within the scope of a horror genre, which is, like, sort of been ran down whatever road it had gone on. Or
stale.
Yeah, stale as fuck. I don't know where you'd even start, like that kind of like modern, like I don't know, strain of horror, because like Wes Craven was around, I think Last House on the Left was 73 or 72.
Yeah, something like that.
And Hills of Eyes 77, stuff like that. But then like Halloween is probably like the first big slasher, I think, in terms of like its cultural impact.
I think
that's huge in this film. Halloween's like it's actually a plot point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a major plot point. Yeah, I think what I was going to say, Psycho is seen as the first slasher movie, kind of at a stretch. Bit of a stretch there to call Psycho a slasher. Like it's kind of, I guess so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But Halloween is the first slasher movie.
Yeah, it's what you imagine when you think of
Yeah.
slasher. You think of Halloween, stuff like that, and you also think of Laurie Strode, like the perfect virgin, sort of pure character. Like we talked about it before, like the kind of the conservative outlook, or the kind of I don't know, reactionary.
Yeah, I would say the conservative outlook
Yeah,
of the first Halloween film.
Very we like certain films. This podcast, a lot of them tend to have,
Left-leaning looks.
yeah, Well, we definitely have a lot of left-leaning looks. That's just the way it is. But Halloween is very much a right-wing film. It's a fascist film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Stay pure, stay virgin.
Yeah. The pure virgin character escapes by her own on the back of her own virtue, and all the people the
lessers.
Yeah, the sinful teenagers are exterminated for doing drugs and like having sex and other terrible things. And Scream literally explains those tropes. And,
Yeah.
it literally lists a set of rules.
Then she hits pause on Halloween, stands up and tells you these rules.
Yeah, which is really funny. It's like I hadn't seen this. I definitely hadn't. I only had the idea of the film from like different clips I'd seen.
Yeah.
And I'd read like the Wikipedia plots when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like the throats are getting slit, and people are getting like fucking gutted in every other scene. Like this must be so scary.
Because my mom, I watched this with my family, and my mom and my dad, more so my dad, had said I had thought I'd seen Scream, but I have never actually seen Scream. When we were watching it, he was like, I've never actually seen this film, but I can tell you everything that happens in this film.
Yeah.
Because it is one of those horror, pillars, kind of one of the modern horror pillars.
Yeah, exactly. I'd never watched it all the way through, but I knew how it ended and all.
Yeah.
Like I knew like what was going to happen, but that didn't detract from like the enjoyment you have.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's like just watching something being put together really well. It's just
very well put together.
Very well done film. Wes Craven, the guy's, he's the best in the business, or he was. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
I would say him and Carpenter are probably the two most important horror directors.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like if we were to have a Mount Rushmore,
yeah,
of horror directors, those two are definitely on it.
George Romero,
yes.
And
who else is really
Rob Zombie.
Yeah, sure.
You get it's like a half finished one. It's like the Thomas Jefferson one. Just leave it.
No, it's fucking fit on it. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's because it sets out the tones so well straight away. Which is like a scene I'd seen before. Everyone knows the scene.
It's one of the most iconic openings to a film.
Yeah, very, very iconic. Drew Barrymore along the gaff, and you have the phone call. The phone rings.
And the popcorn, just fucking turn off the fucking popcorn.
Yeah. It's like building the tension, but like even as you're seeing that, you're like, that's a trope.
Yeah,
like he's doing that on purpose. Like he's not commenting on anything, but he's just like, this is a horror film, and like I was surprised by how fast I got into it. Like I watched it on, or when I started watching it, like I was trying to skip through the fucking, because usually there's like a preamble, like the credits. There's like setting the scenes, like a leafy suburb, like everything's okay. And I skipped like 10 seconds in, and like the phone is already ringing, and she's picking it up. Like it just starts straight away.
Yeah, straight. I think the film starts with her putting on the popcorn, and as soon as she puts down the popcorn, the phone rings. Yeah, and that's it. Go.
Yeah, and all these iconic lines coming out,
Yeah.
And even the voice itself is like iconic. But yeah, and they have all these iconic lines, and Drew Barrymore picks up the phone, she's talking, and clearly you're building tension, but the whole time you feel like, first of all, you feel like this is Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's big. In the 90s anyway, she's huge. Like, she's gonna be in this film. Like, it feels like a scene that would be the setup, like the inciting incident at the end of Act 1 or something like that. Yeah. Or like in the middle of Act 2. Like, just as things are about to pop off. But it's literally the opening scene, and it's more just like a setting down a marker, like a really uneasy kind of tone. Not just like in terms of atmosphere, but in terms of like how the film is going about telling a horror story, and like its attitude towards horror, in terms of like this is not just a scary scene. It's a commentary on scary scenes, and it's like trying to mess with you Like you are Drew Barrymore in the scene.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, and the joke's on you the entire time.
Yeah.
So like you're like, oh, what's happening? And then obviously she gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah, that's the thing that I forgot about Scream. It's so gory.
Yeah, it's very, very brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, like people are turned inside out in this movie.
Yeah, your man gets disemboweled in the out in his porch.
Yeah.
I remember I read that. I used to do that a lot. I used to just read the plot summaries of horror films. I remember reading about that.
Man, I was watching this with Isabel and my family, and we were about 20 minutes from the end, and Isabel sitting beside me, and I can just see her on her phone. I just glance over, and she's like scrolling through the Wikipedia page, and I like nudge her. I was like, "Are you reading the ending of the film?" And she just like locks her phone. And she's like, "No." And I was like, "You're literally 20 minutes away from the ending."
yeah. Sometimes it's too tense. Sometimes you have to know the ending. But yeah, I used to do that just to give myself a scare, because I didn't want to watch the actual film.
Yeah.
I was too scared. But I remember reading about that. I was just like, oh my god, this is such a horrifying scene.
Yes.
But then you watch it and it's like, it's really gory.
It's also kind of funny.
Yeah, it's also, that's the thing. It's very, very playful. It's not like, it's not horrifying as in, he's going to go get me. It's not like a Michael Myers kind of thing where it's like, this is like an unstoppable force. Like, it's just...
Ghostface is very clumsy.
Yeah, Ghostface is like clearly a guy in a Halloween costume. Like, he even has, like, it's a cheap costume as well.
Yeah,
it's clearly not.
He sees jeans and stuff like that when he's running after you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And he's like, he trips over stuff. And like, he can clearly be like wrestled with. Like, there's multiple times where he tries to kill people, but like, he doesn't. And it's like... Yeah,
he gets, like, Ghostface gets, like, fucked up a bit. Like...
Oh, yeah. He's
like, you could easily kick the shit out of Ghostface. Michael Myers comes after you, you're fucked. Jason comes after you, fucked. Freddy Krueger, you're fucked. Leatherface, fucked. Ghostface comes after you, you are kicking the shit out of him.
yeah. It's a fair fight, like, That's why he's never in those, like, versus...
No.
Kind of
because he's just a dude.
He's just a guy, like, he's just a guy.
Or two dudes.
Two guys, as is revealed at the end of the film.
Matthew Lillard in this film as well.
He's good, but I can't shake Shaggy.
Yeah, fair.
I can't.
I love Matthew Lillard so much.
He's a king, though. He's very good.
Yeah.
Such a cartoonish actor, which is like perfect for this film, because everything's so slapstick and like playful. Like, he doesn't need to be really like menacing and like dark, because it wouldn't work at all. But it works really well specifically for him. I don't know, like great scouting or something like that. Great casting. But yeah, the whole setup is so formulaic. Like, the formula is just set out at the start with was it Sydney?
Sydney Prescott.
Yeah, Sydney Prescott. Yeah, and Neve Campbell, I believe her name is. She wasn't in anything else.
She was in. I think she's in all the Scream movies, and she's gonna be. There's actually. Did you know there's a new Scream movie coming out?
Is there?
There's another one coming out this year.
Is there?
Yeah.
That's not good, is it? yeah. Aren't they all? Well, isn't the second one is regarded as being very good?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. Like, I don't think I've seen the fourth one. I've seen like 2 and 3 when I was younger. But I was like, yeah, these are fine. Like, these are fine. Like, they're not really horror films at that stage. They're more like whodunit.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of like that is kind of what Scream is. Scream is very much a kind of whodunit type of situation, but they don't really play into that aspect of it. In like 2 and 3, they are like, one of us is Ghostface, one of us is committing these murders. But in this one, it is kind of like it could literally be like a random person.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who he is, because that's not the point. Because it's about like it's about stories and like narratives and conventions and things like that. Like, there's constant references to movies and horror films.
Yeah, like
throughout the film. There's a scene in a video shop about halfway in, which literally just directly explains the solution to the mystery. Like, he just tells you who the killer is.
Yeah,
like he's like theorizing. This guy Randy, he's like theorizing who could be the villain.
It's obviously the boyfriend.
Yeah, it's obviously Billy.
Yeah,
and he says all these other things which end up being correct. So he basically just explains like the actual solution to the puzzle, but it's in the middle of the film, and you don't expect it. You don't expect to be told what who the killer is, like, in the middle of the film. At the same time, you're also thinking, this guy Randy's a bit weird. Like, could he be the killer? Your man, what's his name? Fucking Matthew Lillard's character.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
They're all kind of they all could be the killer. Like there's red herrings everywhere.
And like even the way that the film like is like, yeah, obviously it's Billy, but then the film gives you that doubt where it's like, well, how could it be Billy if when he was locked up he like Sidney got a phone call? Like how can it be him then? And even like the fact that like Ghostface is at the door and then your man comes through the window and you're like, how could it be him? All these little things like that. But yeah, sure enough, then towards the end of the film it's like, oh no, it's because it's two guys.
It's two guys, yeah, it's a twist. But yeah, even they even talk about the difference, like the twists you find in horror films and red herrings. They use like different like film language and stuff like that.
Stewart is his name. Matthew Lillard's character.
Oh,
Stewart.
Stu, yeah.
Stu,
man. But yeah, they're always using a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of red herrings in the film. But what distinguishes Scream from other horror films is they say that there is a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah, they literally like, here's the convention and we're going to play up to it.
Yeah. Well, they're literally like, the guy Randy, he knows this stuff. He works in a video shop. He's literally like, oh, there's red herrings and stuff like that. You're like, he's applying, there's the mystery, which is taken for granted within the film universe as being a real thing. But this guy, Randy, works in like, they're all teenagers, they all love horror films. And this guy, Randy, works in a video shop. And he's applying the logic of a horror film to the mystery, which, they are in a horror film. So,
yeah. And even the guys that are, doing the murders are using horror films as to how to commit the murders.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they are fulfilling the conventions of a horror film. And everyone's like, that's fucking crazy, man. Life isn't a movie. But because the serial killers are living up to that, he's able to realize what's going on. And we as the audience are also like, kind of know what they're going to do because of that reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like when they get to the house, you're like, this is the big showdown. And sure enough, it is the big showdown. But like, it doesn't play out the way that you kind of expect it to. Yeah.
It kind of like it's the reveal very quickly. And then there's like sort of like a prolonged kind of struggle. But like the entire time there's they're saying what is happening as it happens. It's very strange. Very, very weird. It's cool how the only characters who survive are the characters who do not conform to their role within the film.
Yeah, like Dewey, the cop.
Yeah.
Man, I love Dewey so much.
He's so wholesome.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's an expendable idiot cop at the start of the film, and then he like develops. And like there's a few seconds where you're like, oh, maybe he could be the killer. It's like kind of hinted at, but he's just another red herring, and like he develops into like this kind of like courageous, like kind of like puppy dog kind of character, and like he develops himself. He develops his own character independent of what our initial conception of him is. And you have Sydney, the damsel in distress, the pure virgin who gives away her virginity but still survives because it's it's her movie. Yeah, basically, she literally says it.
I love the fact that the guy that gets shot like 3 times gets back up and he's like, oh, thank God, I'm so happy. I've never been so happy to be a virgin before.
Yeah, Randy. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, even Randy. Like Randy's like, first time you meet him, he's a slime ball. Like, he's really like offensive. He's really disrespectful about like the murders that have happened like the night before. It's like, this guy is clearly in cahoots. Clearly he has something to do with the killings. But by the end of the film, like he's able to step outside like the sort of the logic of what's going on, because he knows the conventions, he knows the story and like the structure and like the shape of like how these stories work. And so he's able to like sort of remove himself from the situation. He doesn't conform to the character that we expect him to be. And he ends up being like he almost gets the girl at the end of the day, even though he's like this like pathetic kind of like weaselly slimeball character at the start,
just a weirdo.
He's just a weirdo, yeah. But he lives up to it. He lives up to something else, something beyond what he's what's earmarked for him at the beginning of the film. And then even Gail at the end, Courtney Cox's character.
Yeah, Courtney Cox in this movie.
Like she is a bitch when you first meet her. Yeah. She's a horrible person. She's like this slimy tabloid reporter who's like preying on like the vulnerable and like the traumatized, trying to exploit like a tragedy in a small town. And she's killed, but then she comes back to life and she like redeems herself by like. But
you're thinking she's a fucking slimeball because Sydney's like, you're happy writing your book or whatever, doubting the fact that the guy that's put away for my mom's murder isn't actually the killer. But she's actually right. Like, she is correct when she says that.
Yeah.
It turns out to be true that like your whole perception of this character is false, because she's a bit of a, like she is a slime ball kind of, I guess, because
she's a horrible person.
But she's right though. Like this is the main thing. Like she is correct in saying that no, the guy that's been put away for your mom's murder didn't actually commit the murder, but because the main characters don't like her because one's going against her, we as the audience are like, you're a fucking bitch, which she kind of is, but she's right.
yeah, she's right. But like that's the thing, the information we're given at the start, you're like, you judge her already, and you can see, like the viewer's like the passive character in the films, where like you see what's going to happen, and you know what's going to happen, but like you're not like conscious of it, or like it's you're not aware of it on a conscious level. You sort of see like the shape of where things are going. Like that's based off the information we first get, but then she develops in a way that her character develops beyond that, and it's not just falling into the same old shapes as beforehand. It's like something entire, like breaking the mold out of the old conventions and the old narratives and the old kind of arcs of like how these stories play out.
Yeah,
and like those are the characters who survive and like who save the day and like see things out. And like, you know, I don't know, something to do with the horror in general, and the stories we tell ourselves, and postmodern meta narratives and stuff like that.
I think it's quite difficult to talk about Scream though, because we live in a post-Scream world, and it's hard to see the impact that it did have, because horror films did change after Scream. Like they had to change because they'd been it's like a Tropic Thunder type of thing that we talk about. But like Scream had a very noticeable change. Like Halloween, apparently, the difference between like Halloween 6 could afford to be a fucking incomprehensible mess of a film, because it didn't matter, because people were gonna go see it anyway. After Scream, you can't do that anymore. You can't be an incomprehensible mess of a film with like plot points that don't go anywhere or anything like that. And Halloween H20, apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but I've read that it changed. Like it's different. They had to do something different because of Scream.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's what you want.
That's what you want.
That's
what you want from a film.
That's the sign of a great film.
Yeah,
you know, that makes people be like, we have to step up our game.
Yeah, we have to do something. Like clearly we're gonna keep getting the piss taken out of us if we keep doing what we're doing. Just on one thing that I've literally just thought of now, and I didn't notice when I was watching the film. The reason why Sydney's mom is killed is because she was sleeping around. Like that's the reason why she's murdered. It's because she was the quote unquote, you know, slut character of the film that we're not introduced to at all. But because we hear of the horror convention of that, like if you're watching the film. If you're watching a horror film and the slut character ends up getting killed, you're kind of like, you were in a stupid place or whatever. But when you think of the fact that like the slut character dies because they're a slut, and you're hearing that from the film, it makes it way more fucked. Like it is way more fucked up when you're like, when it's taken out like
subtext.
that. When it says the subtext, you're like, that's actually horrific. But when you're watching the film, and it plays that convention, because the film isn't really reflecting on it at all, and you're just used to doing it, it's reinforcing these ideas. You don't really think about it, but then in Scream, when it says it to you, you're like, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, it makes it really plain. Yeah, like there's a huge subversion of patriarchal, the sort of like the patriarchal setup of horror films as well.
Yeah.
In the way that even when Stu is killed, he's killed by a falling television set.
Yeah.
But on the television set is the climactic scene of Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis holding up a dagger, and as she's holding up the dagger, the TV falls and crushes and like blows up his head.
Yeah.
He's electrocuted, and Billy's death as well. Billy's killed, or he's shot by Gail, who returns from the dead, like out of nowhere. Like she's just, like, we think she's this sort of throwaway, bitch character or whatever. She's dead. She returns. She shoots Billy. And it's after Sydney. Sydney throws him off as he's about to kill her, and then he comes back to life as is like. Randy's like, wait a minute, this is the end. This is the part in the film where the killer comes back to life for one last scare, and he comes back to life, and then Sid shoots him in the forehead. She's like, not in my movie.
Yeah, she literally says, not in my movie.
Yeah, complete inversion of how it usually works, which is very, very clever, very, very clever, very, very much appreciated.
Yeah. It's what you want to see. What you want to see.
What you want to see?
Something different. You know,
something different, but it's also not like it's so recognizable that I didn't really feel any difference at all.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It didn't feel like, oh, this is groundbreaking. It's just like, this is just a film that I've seen before because it's very influential.
But yeah, because we're living in a post-screen world. We can't really
world. We can't put it back in its box.
Yeah, you can't really see the changes that it did because we're living in the changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
The only the one thing that we can notice though is films that critique horror films in a similar way that Scream does, i.e. Cabin in the Woods is the one that comes to mind for me. I do not like Cabin in the Woods. I think Cabin in the Woods is kind of shit.
Yeah, Joss Whedon, man.
Because
it's just Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon's I just don't like Joss Whedon's style of writing.
He's the kind of guy who would have seen, he probably saw Scream and like, it's just like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is all we have to do.
Yeah, just do that.
We'll just make fun of other films like forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's about practicing something new. Like, it's the whole point. The whole reason the characters survive in the end is because they do something new. It's not because they're smarmy and they're like above it all.
Yeah.
It's because they're like, this is how it usually plays out. Let's do something different.
Yeah. Let's play against the conventions. But like Cabin in the Woods, I think the problem with Cabin in the Woods is that like it immediately shows you, like it shows you its hand straight away.
Yeah.
Like
what happens?
Like, have you ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, ages ago.
Like the corporation that's like controlling everything. Like it shows you that straight away, and then like it just goes to this like ridiculous fucking level. Like, there is some cool scenes in Cabin in the Woods. There is cool bits, like all the monsters are running around murdering everyone or whatever. But I don't know, just Cabin in the Woods is not a very clever satire or critique of a genre.
Yeah, that there's a very fine line between like satire and just being like, you know, smarmy about it. You know, Scream is so good. I don't know if it's because things were like really innocent before it, or like people just hadn't thought about like making fun of, or like or maybe Wes Craven was like the kind of person. It's like a Tropic Thunder kind of scenario where only someone who was like literally in legendary status
could have done it.
Could have actually like made fun of these things, but it doesn't seem like there was anything like Scream at the time in terms of like making fun of what was happening, or like the conventions and like the genre itself, or like sort of reflecting on you know, the state of things.
Yeah.
But like nowadays it's almost like an oversaturation of it's not even reflection. It's just kind of like, you know, making fun of stuff and like not really building on it. I don't know. Yeah,
because especially because like Scream came out when the shit that it's critiquing was happening.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods is taking the piss out of something that came out fucking 25 years, 30 years, 40 years beforehand. It's like, you're a bit fucking late to the game now.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, you're making fun of people who are probably dead, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
But Scream, you know, Scream's great.
Scream is it's a screaming good time.
It is a scream, and it's a fun movie as well.
It's a funny movie as well.
It's also, man, it also is like intense. Like it is still a scary movie as well. Like that bit, of course, the opening that we talked about is super intense because you're like, what is going to happen? And you don't know what's going to happen. And then like later on scenes, the bit where I was going to say Laurie, what's her name?
Sid.
When Sid is in the bathroom and she can hear Ghostface going like, Sydney, and she's like looking around and you just see the feet coming down. Like that is tense because she's like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, I like
the fawns in this movie as well.
Yeah, man, Henry Winkler, he is such a king.
Yeah,
he knocks every role out of the park. He is amazing in Arrested Development. He's amazing. So funny. He's amazing in this.
He's amazing in this. He's amazing in Barry as well.
Is he in Barry as well?
Yeah, he's in Barry as well.
He's so good.
He's fantastic in Barry.
He understands the assignment.
He does.
To use a 6-month-old meme.
Yeah, but he does.
But he does. He does. He's great. I love that guy.
And we have Wes Craven in the film as well, popping up for a little cameo.
Yeah, you're saying the janitor?
He's the janitor that's dressed in a red and black striped jumper with a little fedora on, and he's called Freddy.
He's called out by the fans.
Yeah, he's called out the fans. The fans goes, "Oh, sorry there, Freddy."
Yeah. I love the scene where Gail and her cameraman or whatever are in the van, and there's like a 30-second delay on. She has a camera in the room, where all the big showdown is about to happen, and there's a 30-second delay and like
Don't know why she does that though.
what?
Why
The
did she put
camera?
a camera in there?
Because she's a bitch. She wants to catch all the. She's a you know. She's a vampire. She just
Yeah.
wants the goods.
Yeah.
She's like a Nightcrawler. She reminded me of your man at
She's a bit of a
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Nightcrawler kind of character, you know. Yeah, she just wanted like. Well, no, the impression I got, she just wanted the footage. 'Cause
Yeah.
She knew there's going to be killings, and she got it. But there's like a 30-second delay on the footage, and they see Ghostface show up, but they're like, oh shit, it's 30 seconds
Yeah.
delayed, and then your man opens the door and he's like,
Yeah.
gets his throat slit. It's great stuff.
Great
Stuff.
setup.
Great setup, great premise, great execution.
You love to see
You
it.
love to see it.
You love to see it. Yeah. I can't wait to see now to try and compare the difference between Halloween H20 and then Halloween 6 to see like the differences between them pre and post Scream.
Yeah, this Halloween series is just shaping up to be a lot better than I expected. A lot more interesting.
It is, isn't
You know?
it?
It's
way
very,
more
very
interesting.
weird.
Like it's not like the Texas Chainsaw series where
Yeah.
it is kind of the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like at least it went batshit insane with the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th is even worse for that, I'm pretty sure.
Friday 13th. Maybe we'll watch that.
With the space and all.
Maybe we'll do that. Well, I don't know. It's
That
a bit late
was-
in the year for that.
That was something I meant to say when we were talking about Halloween 6. Did you know, right?
Mm.
Carpenter, they came to Carpenter like, what should we do with the 6th film or whatever? And he's like, I don't know, Michael Myers in space. And they're like, that's stupid. We're not doing that. And they reference it in Halloween 6. They say something about Michael Myers in space. They say something like that. But that's where Jason X came from.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
They're like, Halloween isn't stupid enough to do it, but we are.
Yeah, it's like, that was a pretty. It's like just like find like a crumpled up piece of paper in John Carpenter's bins. Like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good
Yeah,
idea.
we're gonna make a movie out of this.
Michael Myers in space.
Yeah, but only because Friday the 13th had gone to that level of absurdity. Like
yeah.
Jason in Hell and stuff like that. Like that, those films are ridiculous.
Jason in Hell. Yeah.
There's literally Jason Takes Manhattan is the name of one of those films. He takes Manhattan.
Does he take it over? Like,
Yeah, he goes to Manhattan and he just fucking walks around murdering people again. It's like Muppets Take Manhattan.
yeah,
It's the exact same plot.
that'll have to be where the third modern Halloween film has to go. You know,
Myers in Manhattan.
It's just made in Manhattan with Michael Myers. Yeah, well, interesting times ahead. 2022 Scream film, Scream 5.
In 2022, right?
Is a meta slasher film. It serves as the 5th installment of the Scream film series. Directed by Matt Battinelli Alpin. What kind of name is that?
What have they done?
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not is apparently very good.
VHS Southbound.
VHS, depending on which one he did.
He did the American one.
Sorry, the VHS is an anthology series.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you directed
yeah.
a short film that's in VHS.
Oh, but yeah, he's doing this. Courtney Cox is back. David Arquette is back. Neve Campbell is back.
They're all in this. They're all throughout the same franchise. You know that David Arquette's character walks around with a crutch from this point on, because he got shot in the back or whatever happened. He got stabbed in the back at the end of Scream. So from 2 onwards, he walks around with a limp and he's got a cane.
It's good continuity.
Great continuity. Love to see it. It's not like fucking Michael Myers getting up after getting stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, like 20 seconds later. Some continuity. Yeah, it's January 2022, so like it's 3 months away.
January,
January is the graveyard of films.
especially horror films.
Yeah, that's true. Must be shit. It must be shit.
Yeah, it must be shit.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Maybe it will be good. When was the last good January film? I don't think there ever has been one.
I think there was one film that came out in January. I can't remember what it was, and people were like, "Holy shit, this is a great January film." I can't remember. There was a film that came out, and people said that about it, but I can't remember what it was.
That's a shame.
Fuck it. Maybe Scream 5 will be good. Probably not. Tell you what does look good though.
What?
Our news section. Oh, featuring the new Batman trailer that just dropped over the weekend.
The Batman. I'm vengeance.
He's kind of doing a Christian Bale voice.
Well, what? Like, you can't really do like an Adam West kind of voice with Batman, you know?
Gee whiz.
It's like, I'm vengeance. It's like, what? You kind of
Yeah.
have to anyway, you know?
Yeah, you do have to.
Like people complain about that with Christian Bale. I didn't understand that. Like, what do you like? What? Do you,
What do you want? Do you want the previous Batman voice?
yeah. What are you supposed to sound like? Like Christian Bale had a bit of a lisp, which is a bit weird. But that's because he had a voice, like a vocoder. Like that was part of his character. You know.
Yeah. People just complain about it.
People just complain. You know,
Yeah.
they're complainers. Don't listen to the haters. This is Matt Reeves doing this one, the Batman. Matt Reeves. This is the guy who did the Planet of the Apes, the latter two Planet of the Apes films.
Oh yes.
Very good
yes.
at action. Very good at action. Great action.
Yeah, Andy Serkis in these ones as well. He's playing Alfred.
Alfred, is he?
Yeah, from the looks of it anyway, he looks like he's playing Alfred.
Yeah, and Colin Farrell is the Penguin.
Unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable in a fat suit. It's insane. Like he hasn't. Thankfully, he didn't do the whole thing. Oh, I'm going to put on weight for this role. Like I'm going to commit to this. I want an Academy Award.
Yeah.
He's like, just give me a fat suit.
Yes.
Just give me prosthetics.
Yeah, I'm not fucking. Look how handsome I am. I'm not changing.
Yeah, I'm not destroying my body for this film. Like it's the same with Robert Pattinson. See his regimen for, you know, the way Christian Bale had that insane period where he went from The Machinist to Batman Begins in something like 18 months.
Yeah.
And he was huge in Batman Begins. Robert Pattinson hasn't done anything for.
Yeah,
like, didn't do anything for his preparation.
He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And apparently, like all these fucking comic book like losers are just like, oh, he's not gonna play a proper Batman role. He's not gonna be good enough. It's like, shut the fuck up.
No one cares.
No one cares. No one actually gives a shit.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in a batsuit the entire time. You're not gonna be able to fucking tell.
Yeah, and it's really dark. Like
it is very dark.
It's a very dark film.
I'm not a big fan of how it looks.
I think noir, neo noir. Like
yeah, I don't know.
I think it works. I think that's the thing they're going for anyway.
Maybe it's just because it immediately just makes me think of Christopher Nolan's trilogy.
But this is even darker.
This is even way darker.
Yeah, this is way darker. Yeah. Yeah, there's like no light at all. And it's like constantly raining, constantly at night. But yeah, I think it looks really good.
It does look good.
I'm hyped. I don't expect it to be amazing. It's like the what were they called? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes. Those were good films. They weren't amazing though.
Yeah, they weren't. They were grand.
I think I prefer. I think I've said it before. I prefer the first film of that trilogy, which is way more flawed, but like has more heart or something like that. So I don't know. Very technical director, but he's. I don't think he's made a bad film. So, you know, you can't go wrong really.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a very solid movie. Paul Dano, though, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, as the Riddler.
Yeah, he's
as the Riddler.
That is perfect casting.
Man, Paul Dano is a king. He doesn't miss.
That's the thing. That's also a good note towards this film is that it has Paul Dano in it. I think we talked about who's our favorite actor is. We talked about Paul Dano because Paul Dano is one of those actors that isn't in a bad movie.
Yeah, he doesn't miss.
Even Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell isn't even really in bad movies.
Not for a long time now. For a long time.
Like in terms of like style and like production values or like plot stuff, like maybe some like I watched the Gentleman a while ago. Gentleman's a pretty good movie. It's oh my god, the guy that does Snatch. Guy Ritchie,
yeah.
Like it's a Guy Ritchie film. So, you know, it has problems that a Guy Ritchie film has.
It's a Guy Ritchie film.
And you know, has some stuff in it that's like, why this is just very unnecessary, but anyway, also kind of racist, but anyway. But
oh, I love that.
You know, Colin Farrell's the best thing in that film, and he's very good in the film. So, you know, I feel like Batman. Also, Robin Pattinson hasn't been in a bad film.
Yeah, like
even the Twilight films aren't bad. Like realistically, if you get over yourself.
And plus, he was open about that, you know.
Yeah, he knew.
Like he's hardly going to do a tour for the Batman. And be like, yeah, this is a shit film.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah,
he'd tell us anyway.
Like he was in Good Time, Lighthouse, and he was in the Batman.
Yeah, you seen Lighthouse on Netflix?
Yeah,
I have to watch that again.
Yeah,
we see the Batman. This new one coming out was it was going to be part until last year. It was going to be part of the DC extended universe. It was going to be Ben Affleck's Batman.
Was it not? Oh, I thought it was what were they going to call it? The DC Dark or something?
Yeah, I think that's
where the Joker was going to be part of this kind of same universe.
Yeah, I think they've been that.
I really hope they've been that.
I don't think that was ever a
solid idea.
Yeah, solid idea, because it wouldn't make sense to have Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in the same universe as this guy. Plus, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker would have to be like 60 years old to be to be competing with Batman.
Yeah, but you could do it where like he's like a mastermind kind of character, like a Riddler kind of character.
But
Where he's not.
Could he have to be 6 years old?
Yeah, but he could just be an old Joker. This is like.
Maybe I don't know how they pull it off.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're separate. But this is supposed to be. This was going to be part of the DC extended universe, and it was going to be Ben Affleck's Batman from Justice League and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Affleck was going to direct and write and star in the film.
Fuck me.
No, but the script survived. The script for the film is the same concept. Or like the script itself isn't obviously completely the same, but the concept is the same that Ben Affleck came up with. This is the idea.
Ben Affleck is a decent writer though, isn't he?
Yeah, he did Argo and stuff like that. Like he's not bad.
I don't think I've seen any.
He did Good Will Hunting.
I don't know what I have against Ben Affleck because I have never seen him direct anything.
Like,
but like maybe it's just I don't know.
The Town.
I haven't seen The Town.
The Town is very good. Argo, The Town, Good Will Hunting. The guy has his chops. Like
I don't know. Maybe it's just because Ben Affleck is kind of overexposed to me.
I don't know.
I don't hate Ben Affleck. What am I acting like? I don't hate Ben Affleck. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry.
I love those photos of him like just like depressed outside having a smoke break.
Yeah, he's with J-Lo beside him. He's just got his hand on his ass and he just looks sad.
Yeah.
You have your hand on the most wanted ass.
yeah. Like the guy, I think he's funny, but yeah, he was gonna.
What am I shitting on Ben Affleck for? He's done nothing.
He's alright.
As far as I know.
As far as we know. Yeah. Disclaimer in there.
Yeah, just throw that out there.
Just in case. Maybe he was removed from the film for a reason.
His brothers would be fucking,
Oh yeah, jeez, I forgot about that. But yeah, he's supposed to write, star, direct, until last year, I'm pretty sure, and then he sacked himself as director because he didn't think, he wasn't happy with his script, so he's like, I'll just star in it. He didn't think the script was good. I think pretty much.
Fair play to him.
So he's like, I'm not doing this. Yeah, like fair play.
Yeah.
And
then the studio like, all right, Ben, fuck off.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, all right, fuck off. Yeah, like you're not in the film either. And so he got removed from the film as well. And they brought in Pattinson and like Matt Reeves and stuff like that. But I think the script is the same basic concept anyway. That he envisioned, that Ben Affleck envisioned. But this is gonna split off into like a totally new universe. But it's supposed to have 2 sequels. The 2 sequels are already in development, and it has, I think, 2 TV series on like HBO Max.
2 TV series.
Yeah, one is Gotham Central, I think. It's like a kind of detective series. It's based on a comic book series, which is about the Gotham PD solving crimes, like adjacent to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one supposed to be about the Joker, not the Joker, the Penguin. Which Colin Farrell I think is supposed to be in, but that would have to be like a limited series because obviously Colin Farrell isn't going to commit to fucking NCIS like 30 episodes,
especially in that suit. Like
yeah, it's like case of the week and stuff like that.
That's fucking wild. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a franchise, so
it better be good.
It better be good. Yeah, for their sake.
It's gonna kill a franchise if not like
kill an icon. Yeah, for a generation. Maybe that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Had enough Batman.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck Batman. Fuck it. We go into listener questions.
Why don't there are listener questions?
And if you want to ask us a question, give us some feedback, give us whatever, you can hit us up at paro_pod on Instagram and Twitter, or you can send us an email, theparopod@gmail.com.
Give it to us.
Our first question is coming in from Poddy, and Poddy is asking us, come on phone, don't shit the bed.
Don't fail me now.
Is Sorrentino the spiritual successor to Fellini, especially his Berlusconi biopic?
I have to say yeah.
I'm going to have to say yeah.
You're going to have to go yeah.
I'm going to have to go yeah because I have no idea who Sorrentino is.
Yeah. Same.
I looked him up and I haven't seen any of his films. But my problem is I also haven't seen any Fellini films.
Yeah, that's probably our greatest sin.
Yeah, I haven't seen
That's one of my greatest shames.
Yeah.
Because like it's not even as if we can't, like we don't have access. Most of his films are on movie.
Yeah, just haven't watched them.
Yeah, 8.5. Never seen 8.5.
I haven't seen 8.5.
Never seen 8.5.
You know what?
Well,
Well, do you want to hear? Recommend a film for next 2 weeks? 8.5.
Oh,
I'll say it right now.
No, he's dropped the bomb.
Let's just do it right now.
Whoa.
Fuck it. I hadn't thought about that. As we were answering this question, I realized I don't have a recommended film. Here we go. 8.5. Let's go.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
See what the fuck. the hype's all about.
Yeah, I have no idea what 8.5 is about. So it's a movie anyway. That's all I know.
I think it's his 8th film.
Is 8.5 film?
What?
What?
Mind fuck. He's like the Italian Christopher Nolan or something. Christopher Nolan is the real heir to the Fellini throne.
Yeah, if you really think about it. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be great.
We probably see we can probably watch a Sorrentino film or a Sorrentino film after, whatever.
Yeah, Berlusconi biopic.
Yeah.
Is that out? I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's a good idea for a film.
Who the fuck is Berlusconi?
Silvio Berlusconi.
Who's the fuck's that?
The Italian Prime Minister. He was like the precursor. He's Donald Trump but Italian.
All right.
But he was Prime Minister in Italy for like 15 years.
Never.
For like
heard of
most of the 2000s. And he's making a comeback as well. He has a party again. He was banned from participating in elections for a while. I'm pretty sure.
How come?
Because he's like famously corrupt and like openly corrupt. You know. He's known for his bunga parties where he just invites loads of escorts and just like has orgies and stuff like that, like openly.
Come on yourself.
Oh no, yeah, he's like one of the most he's iconic, but like one of the most one of the most corrupt people on earth. Yeah. Like he's literally just Italian Trump.
Yeah.
You know. So, decent biopic material.
And our second question is coming in from Rachel, and Rachel is asking us, who do we put on the horror Mount Rushmore in terms of characters?
The horror Mount Rushmore. Well, you have to put Mike Myers up there.
Okay, do you want to do a classic one and then a modern one?
And a modern one.
Because I think that the classic one is pretty solid. Like
classic one is already
Myers
in set in stone. Yeah.
Myers, Jason, Freddy, and Leatherface.
Yeah.
They would be the 4.
Uh-huh.
We had more modern ones. We have Michael Myers still on it.
Yeah.
Ghostface.
Yeah, definitely. Who else? You don't really have monster movies or those kinds of movies, do you know?
Would you put Chucky on it? Probably not.
Controversial take, Annabelle. In terms of iconic imagery.
Yeah. No, I'll accept that.
Not a good film, but like you're thinking if
the Conjuring universe summed up in that.
If Jason gets a place on the old one, then the Conjuring deserves some kind of representation on the modern one, you know.
Right, I'm gonna take off Michael Myers and stick on Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Saw.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What was it that Saw was competing with for?
Hostel.
No, I'm pretty sure Saw and some other film franchise. Oh, fuck, I can't remember what it was, though.
Horror.
Was it Paranormal Activity? It was Paranormal Activity that they were...
You can't really put that in a mountain.
No, yeah, this is a blank slate. Yeah, I don't know. That Annabelle's a good show. Annabelle is a good show.
Annabelle, yeah. Yeah, there's not really many iconic, faces. It's more like... It's more abstract. Or maybe it's just... There aren't many iconic characters.
Like you cut maybe at a push Pennywise, but he has 2 films, and they're both not very good.
Well, Pennywise, it's very iconic though.
Yeah, it is.
Pennywise, like he is universally known. I got a compilation of Pennywise memes in a. It was in Urdu, like Pakistan. They had a compilation. It was all like It was like a TikTok compilation, and it's very short, but like it was in Urdu. That shows the reach.
That's wild. I would not have thought that that Pennywise.
The Indians, they love him.
Yeah.
Or like the Pakistanis. Oh. There's a big difference there. Any of our Pakistani or Indian listeners, we respect you.
I'm trying to see, like who are the other big icons like. Yeah, there's not like I'm trying to think of like franchises.
What's look at the highest grossing R-rated films.
I'm pretty sure Halloween is still up there. Yeah, but when I say would you have like Jigsaw or would you have the doll? I imagine you have the doll.
Oh no, I don't even know what Jigsaw is. The
Yeah,
doll.
you'd have the doll. Yeah,
yeah.
Bill. I think his name is Billy. You'd have Ghostface, of course. That's what's on this list. Chucky. Would you have Chucky? I guess you kind
I
of
think
have to.
Chucky's 80s, isn't
Yeah,
he?
but he's still going.
Is he?
He is still going. Like on a weird extent, he is still going.
Jesus, not now.
Yeah. This list literally has Pennywise, Pinhead, which is a franchise that is kind of still going, I guess, and the Tall Man from Phantasm, which I haven't even fucking seen.
Slenderman.
Yeah, Slenderman. Yeah, Slenderman.
Yeah, that opens up the whole new
New canon.
whole new terrain. Slenderman, yeah.
So we're having
Ghostface,
Annabelle.
Jigsaw, Slenderman.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty solid.
that is pretty solid.
Yeah.
We got some representation for the girls out there too.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Annabelle on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're getting slowly towards gender parity.
Yeah.
Maybe next generation.
Maybe. Yeah, Slenderman. Yeah, he'd be the icon of the internet horror age.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even though he's dead now, but like he was huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge. We've covered him before,
We've
obviously.
covered him before, yeah.
Yeah.
Him is terrible film.
Oh, I kind of want to take off Ghostface because he is in the 90s. But he's like, you're going to talk about modern horror.
Well,
yeah,
like,
no, sorry.
Who would replace him?
Well, actually, no. He's the granddaddy there because he's the postmodern horror icon.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Slenderman would be the postmodern icon.
Yeah, the hyper real
Yeah.
horror icon. Yeah.
The two major shows there, Mark, were fucking Annabelle and fucking
Annabelle,
Slenderman.
Slenderman has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. You know.
That's a real good Mount Rushmore.
Who knows what the next generation of horror Rushmore characters will be.
Yeah. Alright, if we're doing directors then. Modern horror, like the modern horror Mount Rushmore.
James Wan.
100%.
James Wan. Ari Aster. Maybe.
Because he only has 2 films, but I do kind
They're
of.
very iconic though.
They are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll put him on actually. James Wan.
Have a Cronenberg on it at this stage, I guess.
He's 80s.
Oh yeah, actually, sorry, we're doing the classic 80s one. Carpenter,
Cronenberg,
Craven, and Romero.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. Modern, James Wan. What else? There are loads. We just can't remember them.
I mean, Rob Zombie, I guess, in that one.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't like that, but yeah. Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
I'm
What are the
trying-
other ones?
See, because the problem is that there's not really a lot of horror, like continual horror directors. A lot of times, like they'll have a horror franchise will keep going and they'll just have one director on it and then they'll be removed for the next one.
Yeah, it's not really like an auteur kind of thing
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit sad, though, isn't it?
I guess you kind of do have to. I mean, I don't want to put Ari Aster on it.
Yeah, that's sort of an indictment of the.
Oh yeah, he only
the
has 2
landscape.
films and he deserves to be in the
Mm.
most iconic horror like directors. Like he did, obviously, if he keeps going, he will be on it. Like he will.
Yeah, it makes another film or two.
Del Toro.
Yeah, that's a show. Andre Muschietti, the guy who did It, 2 It's, and Mama. Which he's Del Toro adjacent.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, Ari Aster. I think Del Toro is on that list. James Wan.
What's the guy who did Sinister? Or what was one of them? Don't Breathe. Who's that guy?
Oh, I don't know. Jordan Peele. If he keeps going.
Sam Raimi. No, that's 80s. isn't it?
Yeah, that's 80s. Yeah, no. He gets
'Cause
shafted.
He comes into the
Yeah,
into the modern era.
he gets a bit shafted now because he's
stuck between two worlds.
Yeah, he literally is. See, I'm just looking at this list, and a lot of these directors have only directed one horror film. Rob Zombie has to be on it. Yeah, no, Rob Zombie does have to. So we got Del Toro, James Wan, Rob Zombie. So we need one more, and we're struggling.
We are. Robert Eggers, Lighthouse.
Yeah,
two.
He's only done.
Has he even done two?
The Witch.
Yeah, no. Well, The Witch and Lighthouse. Well, Lighthouse isn't a horror film, is it? It's kind of a horror film.
It's kind of a horror film.
Yeah, man. I don't think anyone else can even think of any. There's no results here.
Like, I'm looking at this list, this one here, and it has
Adam Wingard.
Yeah, how many horror films has he done though?
Kiyoshi Kurosawa. Didn't he do? No, that wasn't that guy. I used the guy in Remember a Cult.
Kurosawa.
We've never seen him though.
Yeah, no, yeah, Kurosawa.
Kurosawa, yeah.
Yeah, Kuroshi Kurosawa, yeah. Yeah, we are looking at an American monument. So I guess they kind of do have to be like Western. If we're gonna be fucking racist about it.
Oh, we forgot about Dario Argento.
Yeah, he'd also be in the classic one.
He's more of a, foreigner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Del Toro won. Who's the other guy? I don't know.
Yeah, Del Toro, Rob Zombie, James Wan. We need one more. Just one more. I can't believe James
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth. Yeah, sure. I don't even like. I fucking hate Eli Roth movies for sure. Eli Roth's fucking.
Our modern Mount Rushmore is just a critique in itself.
Yeah, it is. Just. What about Mike Flanagan?
I was looking at that name. I'm not sure what he did.
Haunting of Hill House, Hush, Oculus, which is meant to be very good. Gerald's Game. That new Midnight Mass. He does more TV shows, but fuck it. He does it. Fuck it. We'll just go with it.
I've never seen any of them.
In the modern age of Netflix limited series, we'll put Mike Flanagan on it.
Very true.
Because I don't want Eli Roth on this fucking thing.
He's just just to keep him off. Yeah, Mike Flanagan is the Slender Man of this list.
Yeah, there we go. The modern that was modern horror directors aren't really a thing.
That was a struggle. Yeah, we need to step up to the plate.
Yeah. We'll be on that list.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah.
On the podcasting Mount Rushmore. Joe Rogan.
Flying Boy, Marganon. We get 2 spots.
Yes!
Separately, yeah.
Alright, we leave it at that.
We'll leave it there, so.
Right, recommended film, once again, 8.5. Fellini. It's on Mubi. Check it out. One of the greatest films of all time, quote unquote. We'll see.
We'll see about that. All right,
Mr. Fellini.
All right. Sayonara.
See you all. Bye.
Bye.